Journalism at its best is the first draft of history. Imagine being in the most interesting place at the most interesting time with the most interesting people. That's as good as it gets.
What I love most about being a journalist is no day is ever the same as the day before.
You could be interviewing a film star one day, you could be on the set of a TV programme, you could be at the Houses of Parliament the next day.
You never know who you're going to meet, what stories you're going to break from one day to the next, and you get to travel quite a lot.
I come in every day and I don't quite know what topic I'm going to be just completely thrown into.
Really important point for any journalist aspiring to write compelling news stories is to remember that he's writing for the reader and what interests the reader, not what interests him.
Make it entertaining, make it readable. You bear in mind they've got limited time to read this, they need to read it quickly and it needs to inform, amuse or entertain them.
When I was at university, a legendary reporter from The Sun came and gave a lecture, and he said that having a job in journalism is like having a seat on the front row of the arena of the world, and from that point I was basically hooked.
I did some work experience here at the Times when I was 16. I was here for 4 weeks, going around different sections on the newspaper, and it gave me an incredible insight into the world of journalism and how a newspaper works. 23 years later, I'm still in journalism and I'm still at the Times.
I think the News Academy is an amazing opportunity. I'm trying to go into journalism through writing as much as possible on my sports blog. I ensure that I post the links to my articles on as many sites as possible so that in that way I can get feedback, and I also write in my school newspaper as well.
I'm a writer. I like putting my thoughts out in words, and I find that's the easiest way for me to communicate, so it's the natural thing for me to do.
If you love sharing information, it's a way for you to get your viewpoint across, as well as educate other people, entertain them and inform them.
I think that facts need to be heard, and I think that journalists' job is to expose them. Things like the Academy are just a great way of giving the people the foot in the door they need to get started in a career in journalism.
If our core purpose is to develop a sustainable model for professional journalism, then we certainly need to be thinking ahead to where the next generation of journalists are coming from. We want to invest in that next generation, and the News Academy is our program to go about this.
Journalism is a very competitive field. It's become even more competitive, with reporters working for newspapers suddenly are competing with people on the street and indeed at the scene of disasters who are able to communicate with whatever modern means of communication are available.
News is what someone somewhere doesn't want you to know, and it's really down to professional journalists to winkle out that information.
One thing that's not going to change is the need to tell stories.
You've got to have people who know all about technology and who can move at this quick pace, and that means there's a massive demand for young, dynamic, new journalists.
I think the Academy is a great idea. I think if you've got the opportunity to do it, you should grab it with both hands.
I never thought I would have such a long, varied, interesting career, that I'd meet the people that I've met, that I've been, and in the places that I've been. I couldn't recommend it enough as a way to make your living.